The following is intended for mature audiences only. Discretion is advised.
And then he goes, by the way, I was talking to my son-in-law, and he said if there's any scratches here on these chairs, you could put a little varnish on a cloth. You ever put varnish on a cloth? Yeah, then. Yeah, just on the way here, I was varnishing my cloths. Like, no, but obviously, oh my God, he's so cute.
Hey everybody, it's Theresa. Welcome to Exaggerated. Let's get into it.
Hi everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Exaggerated. I'm so glad that you're here. I literally just sat down with this microphone after recording 26 auditions, and if you thought I was brainless before, ooh baby, am I brainless now? So buckle up, because this was scheduled and I said to myself, I'm gonna do it, I'm not gonna move it. And I literally just sat down and was like, I didn't even say test 1 2 1 2. I didn't even check the percentage of battery in the camera. So here goes. Hopefully you don't get half a video. And now I'm outing myself because I can't even be like, there was technical difficulties. If this just like cuts off in half, you're gonna be like, your camera died, you idiot. Another nighttime pod, guys, coming to you hard and fast in the night. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for your feedback. I love you all so much. Thanks for enjoying my silly stories and happenings. I was thinking a lot about that today because I love when I get a DM or a message that's like, hey, I love the show, or hey, this, or ask a question or whatever. It's my 100% favorite thing in the entire world. And what I was thinking about today is like, I think generally the world, myself included, is just like so tired, so out of it, so beaten down for 26 million reasons. And I think like sometimes I feel like, especially in a creative career, like as an actor, I feel like I send audition after audition after audition, or I do, casting after casting after casting, and it feels like I'm never working, or it feels like I'll never work again. And like, I think sometimes in all professions and all relationships and all walks of life, I think sometimes we forget that like everything that's happening isn't what's happening in our head, if that makes sense. Like, for example, there are rooms where people are like talking about you and they're like, hey, so-and-so was so great. Like take an actor, as an example, because I want to make sure this makes sense. Like, okay, we do an audition and we're like, we didn't hear anything. We don't get it. We usually don't hear anything. Actors usually don't hear anything. We don't get a phone call that's like, hey, it's a no, and here's why. Sometimes we do, but usually it's just crickets and we hear nothing. Sometimes the show doesn't even get made. It has nothing to do with you. Sometimes they cut the scene that you auditioned for. Like, there's a million reasons why you don't get a call unless like you book it. But it's like, think of how many times you were like, oh, they're down to 3 people, and you're in that list of 3 people and you don't know. They don't call you and say, hey, you were down to 3 people. That would, like, it's such a funny thing because I feel like in any profession, like usually you know what the ladder looks like, right? Like generally speaking, if you're a dentist, you go to college, you go to grad school, you go to dental school, you join a local dental practice, you're an apprentice, you have clinicals. Like there's probably a way that happens. There's like step A, B, C, D, E. And then when you get to F, you're doing the job, Imagine I skipped a letter. I was like, oh my God, E, F, is F really after E? Not going well. But like in acting or in, any creative pursuit, like there's not really that same ladder. So it would be wildly beneficial if we heard, hey, you were second. And most people would be like, what? But you didn't get the job. Like, who cares if you were second? And of course, logically, and like getting the bills paid, like I don't give a shit if I was second. If I'm not booked, like great. I hope the show's great. I hope I want to watch it, like whatever. But it's like, there's like no ill will, but it's also like, I don't care that I didn't get it. But I do think it would boost people's like confidence to hear like, hey, it was you and this other person and they got it. We don't know why they got it. It was an energy. It was a thing. Like so much I think behind auditioning is like who you are, your energy, your vibe. Like it's not, hey, your energy, your vibes, like just some fucking vibes, man. Like is what got you the part, you know? And like every time you hear a super famous actor like talking about a role they got, it's always like, yeah, I just like was in the room and we locked eyes and I had highlights and she had highlights and we were both wearing blue neckties. And, you know, then I did 7 seasons on a hit TV show. Like they always like play it down. But I do think that there's like something energetically that my acting teacher used to say, if it's yours, it's already yours. Like the part's already yours. It's already, you know, there's something in you that is going to play that the best. Plus the training and the memorization and the hard work. And there's a laundry list. But anyway, all of that long-windedness is to just say, like, sometimes I just think about how many times were we praised and we didn't know, or how many times was someone grateful for us or our performance or our contribution or our advice and we didn't know. Because we don't always tell people, hey, I love you. Hey, thank you. Hey, what you said was really cool. And I know you guys are thinking right now, you're like, hey, this is supposed to be a silly goose time podcast. And I'm crying right now because this is a beautiful sentiment. But that's how we roll here at Exaggerated. We ride the hills and we surf the valleys, baby. And we go up and down and up and down and all around because that's how we do it. But honestly, like, you are so loved and people are so grateful that you exist and your friends and your family and people love you so much. And people don't always say those things out loud. So whether it's personal, whether it's professional, just remember, I feel like Delilah. Remember Delilah? And they're like, somebody's thinking about you tonight. Here at 1010 Wins, Delilah is on the air. And there's a star in the sky tonight. And somebody's missing you. Play it back, you know? And then they play like Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On. So it's literally like, hey there, welcome back to Delilah. Somebody has you in their mind tonight. My heart will go on and on. Like, so that's what is happening right now. Wow, guys, what are we doing? What's happening? But no, so I just think ultimately, like, just remember that what's in your own head, and we beat ourselves up and we're our own toughest critic. And there's people out there that are like, oh my God, he's so cool. Or, oh man, I almost gave that job to her, but this guy just had 5 more years experience. Like, we don't hear the details all the time. That being said, I'm going to talk about Facebook Marketplace next. I know what you guys are thinking. You're like, really? Again? Is this who she is now? And the answer is yes. Okay. I bought some chairs on Facebook Marketplace and it was a chef's kiss, perfect experience, right? Like, it would probably be funnier if it wasn't a perfect experience, but it was so perfect. I drove to bumfuck New Jersey today, like 1 hour away from where I live, and my babysitter canceled. So I had to bring my baby child and my dog with me. And I know what you're thinking. Wait, your babysitter watches the dog? No, he just wanted to come. Okay. He was kind of my older dog is out of town. My older dog's out of town. So the young one just needed somebody to play some jazz with. Okay. This is getting unhinged. My older dog is out of town because we're traveling soon. And so my younger dog was like, I don't stay home alone, you know? So he got in the car and my baby child got in the car and we did a little drip drive-in to bumfuck New Jersey. And it was near the water. And so it was raining, even though it wasn't raining by me. As I started driving, it started whoosh, 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 wind, whoosh, 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 trickle down, trickle down, trickle down, wind and rain, nightmare. Okay. My baby child was like, mommy, more cleanup song, mommy, more cleanup song. So for 30 minutes, I drove my basic bitch SUV that I love down the Garden State Parkway in the lashing rain to clean up, everybody, everywhere, clean up, everybody do your share. Now you might be thinking, oh, hey, I don't know what the rest of that song is. Hey, I don't know what the hook is. I don't know what the verse is. Well, guess what? There isn't one. They do what I just did twice. And then it ends, and I have to put it on repeat. I have to press the iPhone Music, Apple Music repeat button because my daughter goes, mommy, more. And I say, more what? And I'm going, more music? We can listen to Casey Musgraves. We can put some Lane 8 on. What are you into, girl? More music? And she's like, no, more cleanup song. And I'm like, gonna take the wheel and jerk it to the left just to feel something. Okay? So we're listening to the cleanup song for 30 minutes in the lashing rain out to Jersey. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get 3, not 4. Where's the 4th chair? Hey, pal. Where's the 4th chair? I'm going to buy 3 chairs. I wanted 2. He threw in the 3rd for $10. I can't leave this guy with 1 chair to sell, you know? So I get the 3 chairs for an excellent chef's kiss, beautiful price. 3 vintage chairs that I want to put in my living room because I have an idea, because I'm an artist, because I have to fulfill my home's aesthetic goals. Just get chairs at Wayfair Tea. No. So I drive out to New Jersey and it was exactly what you think it would be. It was the most New Jersey person to ever exist. Okay. They were as wide as they were tall and there was no neck and they were tan and it's the winter. And I was like, hell yeah, we're doing it. We're in New Jersey now. And we'll call him Vinny because of course, his name was Vinny, right? And he's so Italian. And so it was like showing up at my parents' house to get the chairs, okay? So firstly, I started talking to this person like 3 days ago. I was like, hey, I want these chairs. They still available? He was like, absolutely. I was like, great. It's like a long weekend. I'm out of town. Can I get them on Monday? He was like, no, I'm free today. And I was like, sir, it's 4:00 and you're 1 hour away. Nobody's driving to you today. Okay, this isn't a garage sale in 85. All right, what's your Venmo? Can I put a deposit? So the cost was not that much. So I just sent him the cost because I'm like, here's a risk I'm willing to take, you know, here's the Venmo. I did everything you're not supposed to do on Facebook Marketplace. They're like, hey, don't pay the person ahead of time. I paid them. They're like, oh, don't meet at somebody's house. I drove up right to his driveway. They're like, hey, don't give anybody your last name until right before you pick it up. Oh, don't go alone. I didn't go alone. I brought a baby and dog to a man's house in New Jersey and said, hello, may I have some chairs? So in case you were wondering if I was a dumb shit, here's your proof. So I pull up, he's the most Italian man to ever exist. And it was so perfect, right? Like I could almost smell the marinade cooking on the stove. I was like, oh, we're doing this. This is an Italian American standing in the garage. Okay. So I get a message. I told him I would tell him when I left. It's about an hour. Be there around 11:15, I said, I'll shoot you a message when we're closer. He gives me the address. Now, he was kind of smart. He wouldn't give me the address until the morning of, which I don't know why that mattered. Because if I'm robbing you, dude, I'm doing it now. You know, I'm not coming in the night. So I pull up. He goes, my car's in the driveway. The garage door's open. He has the garage door open. When I pull up, it's lashing rain. Garage door is open. The chairs that I bought are lined up just inside the garage as like a lure. It was like such a sweet way because you know he was definitely like, oh, I want her to be able to find the door. So he put it there. But the first thing in my mind was, oh, what a great lure. Like what a perfect, like here's your chairs, dipshit. Step on in and I'll kill you. So I see the chairs. I'm like, oh, hells yeah. Pull in. He goes, why don't you pull back out and back in? It'll be easier to put them in. And I was like, fair, sir. But what do you think? I'm some kind of firefighter? I'm just going to whip my SUV around and back in. I did it okay. And he was so cute. And he comes out literally barefoot with slippers like hanging off the front of his feet. And he's like, hey, I'm Vinny. Shakes my hand so hard that my arm vibrates and flies off my body. And I was like, Dad? Grandpa? How are ya? So then he goes to me, hey, how are ya? I'm so glad it's so nice to put a name to a face after 2 weeks. I said, Vin, don't be like this. I messaged you 2 days ago. It hasn't been 2 weeks because he wanted me to go like same day, right? The urgency. That's how my mom would be on Facebook Market. She'd be like, come now. I sold you this. Where are you? Come now. And people would be like, can I come Saturday? She'd be like, I might be dead Saturday. I'm not doing it. You know? So that was this guy's urgency. So he was like, nice to put a name to a face after 2 weeks. And I was like, sir, enough. 2 weeks. 2 weeks of what? 2 weeks of what? So I said, it's only been a couple days. And he goes, well, a lot of people wanted these chairs. My wife told me throw these chairs out. And I go, oh, well, now you're $90 richer. That's how much I paid for them. I was like, you should have put a higher price if so many people wanted them. And he was like, I'm not that kind of guy. And he looked at me dead in the face and I said, you should have made them more expensive. And he said, I'm not that kind of guy. And I was like, wow, cool. That's like the whole point of Facebook Marketplace is like, if somebody wants something, you like charge a lot, like you make money, whatever. He was so cute. I want to know where the fourth chair is. Where's the fourth chair, Vin? Why is there 3? Because 4 would be really perfect. I can work with 2. I only got 3 because I wasn't going to leave him with 1. Okay. Where's the fourth chair? What are we doing? And then he goes, by the way, I was talking to my son-in-law and he said, if there's any scratches here on these chairs, you could put a little varnish on a cloth. You ever put varnish on a cloth? Yeah, Vin. Yeah, just on the way here, I was varnishing my cloths. Like, no, but obviously, oh my God, he's so cute. I was like, oh my God, that's such a good idea. I'm going to get some varnish. You just got to get a little varnish. How cute is he? It was a dream situation. Then he was like taking the water off of the window and like waving to my daughter. He's like, what's her name? I was like, oh my God, I love her. I just love him. He was so cute. And then he was like, all right, you better get back to the big city. I hate that city. I worked 40 years in that city. And I said, oh my God, Vin, what did you do? And he goes, and he looks down at the ground and he contemplates, and you see 40 years of definite mob activity running through his head. And he looks back up at me and he goes, IT. I did something in IT. What Italian boomer is in IT? Okay? You should have said, you're taking out the garbage. All right? You're throwing the bodies in the black bags and you're taking out the garbage. I know people like you and I love them. Oh, he was so cute. It was great. So now I have my chairs. They're still in the car because I was like battling my baby child. I was battling the dog. I was battling the rain. And I said, you know what? What's the difference? Who's going to take my chairs out of my car right now, you know? So I still got to get them in here, but I think they're going to be perfect. They were even nicer in person than they looked online. And I feel like that right there, my friends, is a Facebook Marketplace success story. And that, that excites me a lot. It really does. And then afterwards, my baby child definitely had to get out of the car. So I went to like the store so she could like walk around. We went to like a home goods type store, but it wasn't. It was like another thing. But they had like snacks and stuff. And I was like, oh, let her walk around a little, let her do her thing. So she can like stretch her legs so then she can fall asleep in the car and be awake and wild all afternoon. So we went into the store, and like the funniest thing about the store situation was like we ended up just buying some snacks, and I was waiting to cash out and they were taking forever. And I only know they were taking forever because I had a 2-year-old going, mommy, open, mommy, snack. And I was like, oh my God, these people don't know that this is taking twice as long for me. But they were taking so long, and I got up there and the 2 cashiers were literally texting. And I don't want to sound like a psychopath boomer, but like, come on. Like, what in the customer service is happening if you're blatantly texting at the register? Like, we used to always like have our phones and shit at our restaurant job and bada bee, bada boo. But like, we at least like put it in our pocket or like it went in the back or like use the bathroom way too many times to text or whatever. Like, don't just they were just like, this guy looked at me like he would rather die than offer me basic customer service. I was like, sir, can you just scan the chips? And he didn't take his eyes off his Apple Watch. And I was like, oh no, oh dear, this is only going to get worse, you know? So I don't know. I don't have any solutions for that. But I was like, this guy is not happy that I'm here. And guess what? There's 30 people in line behind me just waiting with all their tchotchkes and snacks. So buckle up, brah. You're not going to be able to answer that text till you're 15. 15-minute break. I used to work in retail. Anyway, so yeah, this is going to be like a little quick and dirty. We're going to get into the ick and the love. My ick, I was talking to my friend about this, and I have talked about this no less than 36 times, and my friend talked about it the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, I need to make that the ick. The word aesthetic on its own. When people are like, yeah, that's aesthetic. Yeah, that's aesthetic. That's not the right use of the word, okay? The word aesthetic by definition just means like of beauty or of like the aesthetic, the appreciation of beauty is sort of like the loose definition, right? You have to like, it's not an adjective. You have to like use adjectives with it. Like you have to be like, oh, it was a very calm, monochrome, cool aesthetic. It was a really interesting, over the top, old Hollywood glam aesthetic. Oh, it was a really earthy, toned down, muted aesthetic. You can't just be like, yeah, it's aesthetic. But again, everybody's like at every cash register, like texting. So no one knows what's going on. It's like the vibes are good. The aesthetic was vibey. You're saying nothing. I hope my friend listens to this and laughs. Because we were just talking about that. And then my love this is a wild one, guys. This is a wild love. Merging. Yep, merging. You heard me right. I love merging. I don't like doing it. I get nervous, just generally. I live nervous, but I don't necessarily have any positive or negative feelings toward the act of my car merging. But merging, I will let you merge no matter what you need to do. Okay? Are you going 10 miles an hour? I will slam on the brakes so that you make your exit in time. You know? The most, like, I'm going to let you in. That's just the truth. Who I am at my core, when people go, oh my God, in your 20s, you're like, I don't know who I am. I don't know what makes me, me. Mine is I let people in on the highway. Bottom line, you're behind me, better tell your destination you're going to be 5 minutes late because I'm letting you slide in. I'm going to slow up a little. I'm letting you merge. I'm not going to slam on the brakes and like ruin the flow of traffic if I can help it, you know, but I'm letting you merge. It's bumper to bumper traffic and you're one of those little assholes that goes up the side and then has to get back in. I don't want to let you back in because I don't agree with you. And I think you're selfish, but I'm letting you in because somebody's gotta, you know? I love you all so much. Thank you so much for listening. Keep listening, keep sharing, share this pod with somebody. Have a fantastic week. I love you so much. And remember, it's all a little bit exaggerated. See you next week.
This has been Exaggerated. Thanks for sticking around till the end. Follow me on social media at TMOLynn. That's TMOLYNN. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Oh, and join the conversation by emailing me at exaggeratedpod@gmail.com. Until next time, don't forget, it's all a bit exaggerated.